convert?
Yes, I am.
Welcome to the club. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for being here. What's your name?
Walaikum assalam. I'm Rana.
My name is Ariba.
My name is Bayan.
Francis.
Hanan.
Hanan, how did you like the topic tonight?
Honestly, it was really amazing.
What do you love most about wearing hijab, and what is the biggest challenge that comes with wearing hijab?
So what I love about wearing hijab the most is that I am representing Islam in a way to people here, especially living in the United States. We basically face challenges every day because we look different in public, and you can visibly see that, oh, this person is different from the rest, and it's like a clear identification of our religion.
I feel like I'm a walking representation of Islam wherever I go, and surprisingly I'm always the odd one out in the room, and it's really nice for people to ask me about hijab and for me to talk about Islam.
What I love most about wearing hijab, I think, is how it distinguishes me from normal or other people, and how it serves as an active reminder. And even if your faith or the internal side of you isn't connected to the spiritual aspect of wearing hijab, I'm still conscious of the fact that I'm walking around, I'm dressed a certain way, people will recognize me and coin me as a certain thing, and that to a degree is encouraging, and it makes me feel responsible for something greater than myself.
I do feel what I love the most about hijab is that it's a commandment from God, and I feel like I'm pleasing God when I'm doing this.
Is there a challenge?
Absolutely. Every single day, wrapping the hijab, it's a challenge, but it's having that inner reason with you that resonates with you every single day, and it keeps you going.
The biggest challenge that I face is it actually kind of happens in the social sphere. I think that as a woman, obviously, you're subject to so many narratives that are telling you how to exist in other people's eyes, and hijab removes you from those narratives, but then you're kind of battling your own internal deep. I want to feel pretty. I want the attention. I want all of the things that, feel that should be attached to my work. Hijab silences those things, but then you're left with battling your nafs, battling the desire to pursue those things. So that's definitely a challenge, and it's even more so of a challenge when it feels like other people are blind to that struggle and just kind of adamant about hijab needs to be presented a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't need to be up on that panel next time? No.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, sister.
And I just love the aspect of feeling empowered in my hijab. So yeah, that's what I love most about
Which
hijab.
is leading us into our next question. Are you empowered by your hijab, and why?
Absolutely empowered by my hijab. It comes down to being in the healthcare field, and again being that representation of Islam and having the constant questions of people wanting to learn more about Islam. So it's a form of da'wah on its own.
Yeah, I will admit that it took me a while to be able to say that hijab fully empowers me, and I think a lot of the empowerment came from realizing that, number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose for me to be Muslim, which means that in the long line of things that happened since Islam came down fully, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose that me, Rana Muhammad, was going to be a Muslim, and He was going to also ordain hijab as one of the commandments. There has to be a profound reason, and there has to be a reason to say that I am capable of this thing.
I feel empowered by my hijab because no one can have an opinion on my body, I feel like, if they can't see it. And so it makes me do things for the sake of Allah. And I know that things that would otherwise might have an intention of beautification, I know that I'm doing them purely for myself. So working out, I'm not doing it so that my body looks good in a bikini. I'm doing it so that I feel good and that my heart works well, so that I can continue praying for as long as I can. I can continue doing activities that require me to be mobile and stuff.
I love that.
Wake up every day. Sometimes I feel demotivated to wear hijab, but then again I put myself together and I feel empowered because I know that I will be getting rewarded on the day of judgment and in this life for this sacrifice that I'm making for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you actually get to see it in your life. Many times when you put things aside just for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hijab is just an example of that. You do many other things, and then you see your life that things are changing for the better because you changed for the better.
Absolutely.
I feel empowered by the hijab because I feel like I'm spreading Islam when I'm wearing hijab. Like I said, it is a commandment by God, so I feel like I'm pleasing Him. And also it's a reminder that hijab is not just a cloth on our head, that, it's from the way we walk, the way we talk, we're representing Islam. So that's how I feel empowered by hijab.
Great reminder.
Yes, I am.
Can you tell me a little bit about when you became Muslim? Your question's changed, sorry. Can you tell me about when you became Muslim and what was that final thing that made you want to become Muslim?
I became Muslim a year and a half ago, alhamdulillah. And the final thing that made me convert was that I realized that I was reading a bit of the Quran because I joined a Muslim book club that I didn't realize was a Muslim book club. And anyway, so I decided to read a bit of the Quran, and I realized that it really resonated with me. Like, I found it as true. And as I was learning about the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was just such an honest person, and everything that was coming out of the Quran was just, it resonated so deeply with me that I was like, I hadn't even finished the Quran. I was like, you know what, like, if I believe in this, like, there's nothing holding me back, like, I might as well. And so it was kind of like impulsive, but alhamdulillah got me here.
Wow, alhamdulillah. I love hearing about that.
Yeah, of course.
Welcome to the club. Thank you so much, sister. That was a great response. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Walaikum assalam.